All right, so for this week, well, starting Monday and Tuesday. So Monday is going to be actually somewhat of a shorter day. Um, to start things out, we're going to look at IXL section C2. Now, IXL section C2. All right, sorry about that. So for IXL section C2, we're looking at finding sources for illusions. Um, you'll read the source of the solution. So, for example, in a biblical parable, a Samaritan selflessly stops to help an enemy who has been beaten and stranded on the side of the road. Then you look at the sentence. A good Samaritan jumped in when my grocery bag broke and the contents spilled all over the sidewalk. So what is the meaning of the illusion is what it's asking. So you have your illusion source here. So what does it mean when the illusion's used this way? Um, a good Samaritan is someone who goes out of their way to help someone. Okay. Um, and you'll keep going through these, but as you go through them, I want you to really think about illusions. We're starting to look at more and more illusions as we go through Macbeth, but also as we read Chasing Lincoln's Killer, there's some allusions to historical events or significant texts that we're going to be talking about. So I wanted to review illusions before we moved on. So that's what we're going to do at the start for Monday and Tuesday. Um, for B Day, we started reading chapter 1, or the prologue of Chasing Lincoln's Killer. We did not start chapter 1. We are going to do that. We're going to hopefully be able to do that with Monday and get through the entirety of it with everything going on. But we should be able to finish this up for the first few days. On Monday, we are going to really fast if we have time. Tuesday, we should be able to do this. We're going to get together in our groups for podcasts. Now, the podcast assignment has been posted on Canvas. We'll review that a little bit in class. But right now, we're just getting the groups together. So if you miss, just let me know and we'll find you a group. But once the group is put together, we're going to create a Google Doc and make sure everyone has editing privileges. Then we'll start looking at topics. But more than anything, I just want your group together and a document shared. And then if there's any time left, we're going to continue with Macbeth and we're going to try and finish Act 2 this week if possible. And make sure you're caught up on your study guide with that. On Wednesday and Thursday, so for this week, let's see, wrong week. This is the week I want. We are going to try something different. We're going to look at a current event story from News ELA. It's a website. Let's see here. It should look like this. If you want to join the website, or just click the link on Canvas, if it's not posted, you can find it here. The join the class login is UPGEZJ. Now that's all in caps, and I can actually pull that up right here. So we're looking at English 9 and should be loading. There it goes. Right here. UP6E7J. That's the one that you want. Now, make sure that you've joined the class. You can sign in with Google if you would like to. But once you have done that, you're going to go to assignments. And mine looks a little differently because I have a few classes going on. But your assignment, your first read is less respect means loss of referees. You're going to read this and you're going to complete, let's see, the discussion board that's relating to this article. You can look at, and we'll start, but you'll need to do that after we read. But what I want you to do as you read, let me go back to modules, make sure it's linked correctly. All right, oh, right there. You're going to read the article, then you're going to complete the soapstone activity. Now, it's a soapstone organizer, something that's used statewide from grades 9 through 12. Even some colleges use it. It's a great organizer, and some students or some colleges are talking about training students so they do it automatically when they read without even thinking. So we are going to look at that a little bit, and it just asks you questions as you go through. It will load. So SOAP stone is obviously an acronym. So your first part is, what's the subject? What general topics are covered? And then how do you know that from the text? And then what would you summarize the text as? What's the occasion? Is there a time? Is there a place? Why is the author writing this? How do you know that from the text? Who is the audience? Why is the speaker using this type of language? How do you know from the text? If you notice, all of these ask, how do you know this from the text? That means it wants you to look for specific evidence that tells you whether it's the speaker or the purpose, what evidence supports that. So make sure you always use evidence with this document. Now when you finish that document, you're going to submit it or turn it in on paper if you handwrite it in class. Just under here, under Soapstone 1. As you finish that up on Wednesday, we are going to look at an English practice test. Now, an English practice test for the ACT, this will be our last real practice test. We'll do some next week, but it'll be more of a diagnostic exam where we're going to make sure everything's working, that you can complete a test. And in fact, I might have you guys just click through a bunch of answers just to make sure the program's working. We're going to do a few things with your iPads, but this last English test is your real last test prep before we take our end of levels the following week. Okay. And as you finish up, you'll have some time to work on the iExcel section we went over the other day and your discussion board. And then we're going to keep reading Chasing Lincoln's Killer if we have time, Wednesday and Thursday. Now on Friday, we are going to try and get Act 2 finished. Most students or most classes should be able to do this. We may move it back depending on how much time it takes to do our practice tests Wednesday and Thursday. So we'll finish this up on Friday, Macbeth Study Guide Act 2. Some of you may be doing this in groups. For 4th hour, I will actually be stepping out, so you will be doing this in a group. If you have questions, please let me know. So that's a lot. There's a lot of things going on in the next few weeks. If you have any questions, please let me know.